by Twitch nice and quickly, so that should be cool. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to that. We took some ideas from the chat. I think you guys will like them, honestly. I think you guys will like them. There's a few good ones. There's some really good ones to use in StarCraft streams. There's some typical wardy face ones as well. They're gonna be good. They're gonna be good. So you guys can get excited over that. I'm really excited. Again, I saw the preview of them last night and they looked awesome. So I'm really excited to get you guys to see them and to get them on the screen and to get you guys to use them. Alright, so to the bottom left hand side of the map, I ping Zerg player from OSC Root. Give it up if you're going to be cheering on SolO in our first matchup of the day, and today is round of 32 here of the WardiTV weekly number 6. To the bottom right hand side, the orange Protoss player is TaiLS. Weekly number 6 will be the start, the kickoff of the WardiTV weekly season 2, which means that well, basically what we did in season 1 is we had 5 cups and then we had a season finals, and season 2's probably going to be somewhat similar. I don't know if we're going to have 5 events or if we're going to have 4 and then a finals, or maybe we have 6. And that's not exactly planned out. We'll sort of run the next season finals when we see there's an opportunity to run it. Right now there is a lot of stuff going on in Korea, so it might not make sense for us to run it right away. But that's sort of our plan. So yeah, that's so this is the kind of the first event of season 2, which is exciting actually. Like, season 1 was a great success, I would say. We had some really great events and cups in the lead up to it, and then the season 1 finals, well, that entire event was pretty awesome, and hopefully you guys did enjoy watching that. If you missed out on any of it, it is up on YouTube, youtube.com/WardiTV, of course. It's there's a lot of cool stuff. There's a lot of cool games from in there. It's one of our featured playlists on the channel there at the moment, so you can definitely go and check that out. Also, just fresh up on YouTube today, as we see a pretty standard opening from both the Protoss and the Zerg here in Game 1 of the best of 3. Also, new on YouTube today is actually the whatchamacallit? Can't think of what I want to say. Also fresh on YouTube today. Oh yeah, we did I kind of changed, you guys know Natural Expansion, my talk show. I sort of changed the format of it and made it a bit more podcasty. So I actually recorded an episode the other night, me and Pilly, just me and Pilly, the two of us. And it's really like just a discussion about StarCraft, and what we talked about was WCS NA Challenger mostly. But it's pretty cool. It's like sort of like a semi-interview with Pilly plus just in general discussing WCS NA Challenger. It's really cool. I think it's really awesome. It's up on iTunes if you guys want to download it from there, or on our YouTube channel as well. Do check it out, because honestly, it's probably the piece of content I'm most proud of ever. That isn't just like some sort of cast, So it's my favorite like non-casting content I've ever made, I think, because it was really cool. Like, just a genuine discussion about WCS NA Challenger, no nonsense. It was really fun to do. So do check that out. I'll be telling you guys all about that again later on. Obviously, I mean, right now you shouldn't go and watch it because you should watch the stream. But if I'll remind you guys to go get it open so you can watch it when the stream ends, just in case you're not sick of my voice already. Anyways, we do see the openings here, and we're starting to get some tech going down, so we can discuss this PvZ opening so far, which has just been a Stargate. Very common way to open the PvZ, and we're going to see the double Oracle as a way to set up initially. So double Oracle coming across the map, the Rotor in here coming down from SolO. I mean, he's already got a Spore Crawler in position with this Queen as well. He's actually going to start turning away this first Oracle nice and easily, no real issues at all right there. So first Oracle does get turned away. And we see a couple of gates just coming up on the Natural Expansion. I mean, obviously here TaiLS will want to move in towards the third Nexus, and you'll want to do that along the side of, or with the help of, some Adepts as well, most likely. As you see the Adepts so far protecting this probe as it comes down, and the third Nexus coming into play. With the double Oracle, of course, you can one-hit those workers, and that's going to be very important here as he comes forwards and looks to see what he can get up to. So here we go, comes in, there's one drone going down right away. A second drone takes a shot but doesn't go down actually somehow. Does come back in and kills that, but has to be a little bit careful because his Oracles are getting low on health. If he sticks around much longer, he will be losing those, so he does have to get out there. Obviously, I mean, one of the big things about Oracles is just how long they can be kept alive for and how much value you can get out of them is, whoa, 3 more gates already. I mean, that's way more aggressive than what you're expecting here, right? I mean, at this point, you would expect kind of maybe like the Twilight Council or something to come down first. In the Forge, but to just go up into 6 gates right away feels very aggressive, but I guess not. I guess he doesn't want to be aggressive. I guess he just wants to make sure he's walled off nice and safely. Interesting stuff, interesting stuff. I mean, there's no robo facility down, so it's not like you can make a big immortal push or anything, which has been very popular lately. As again, these two oracles getting pushed away by the queens from the third base. The oracles having to come back down to the south and keep on scatting around, keep on looking to see what else is going on here. Blair is, again, on the way up here from SolO. It's going to be him just continuous taking a double robo. I mean, it's been a while since we saw kind of double robo build orders from Protoss players, but in this situation, I guess it does sort of make sense. I guess it does sort of make sense, right? Because with the double robo facility coming down, he's going to be able to pump out 2 models at a time, and it's going to make up for being a little bit later here. So he's obviously looking towards kind of a later game setup rather than looking to strike with like 2 immortals and that sort of aggressive push we've seen so much of lately in PvZ. He just wants to attack a lot later on it, and for the most part here. So he's going to be building up a good immortal count, and until then, this Oracle just continues to scout around, trying to see what he can figure out. He doesn't see, he does see the Bane Nest here, I think, actually. With the, ooh, Queen's nice snipe on the Oracle. That revelation's nice. I mean, he sees the Bane Nest. It's not the biggest piece of information. He sees the Rotoron too. I guess it does kind of tell him what this composition is going to be. And if he sees the Rotoron upgrade and it's with the Bane Nest as well, then it's much more likely to be kind of Lingbane Roach or Lingbane Ravager than it is to be some sort of Hydralisk-based composition, which may have forced him to kind of go into maybe kind of faster Templar Archives than Storm, for example. And that's a very common way to kind of deal with Lingbane Hydra. So it's just going to keep him on track, and obviously for now, double robo production is going to be perfect. Use those immortals in good numbers to get through the roaches, and then everything else is just about having enough there. The blink upgrade first on the Twilight is interesting. I guess he'll go into charge after that, but in general he should have the composition he needs to sort of fight against this without too much of an issue. So this Oracle's still just having a little bit of a fly around here so far. We're going to be seeing a few more Lingers coming on in, and then some Ravagers morphing, using up a lot of that gas that SolO's been banking up. The question is when does he want to get aggressive? Is he going to go right now? Well, maybe not right now, but as Bane speed and +1 melee attack finishes, that may be a good time for him to start heading across the map and to start looking to push. So, I mean, this is a composition from SolO which is heavily reliant on trading initially and continuing to trade. In the sense that, you know, if you allow the Protoss play to get up into a lot of Immortals and Archons, this composition isn't going to be able to do very well. But if you can shut down like a couple of Immortals now, then attack again, kill another couple of Immortals, you just stop the Protoss from hitting that kind of critical mass of higher tech units. And if you stop the Protoss from hitting that higher critical mass of higher tech units, well, that's when you start finding yourself in a pretty neat little position. And that's when the Protoss can really start struggling to deal with these sort of compositions. +1 melee about to finish up. I mean, a lot of Bane's morphing in, so SolO definitely is looking towards attacking, but I have to say, TaiLS, he's actually ahead on supply right now, which is kind of strange considering nothing has really happened so far this game. You know, nothing aggressive at least. It's actually very strange. We're going to be seeing a couple of force fields coming down here initially, some corrosive bars to pop those force fields though. And all these Stalkers, Immortals, and Sentry, and, well, everything basically, just pulling away to the right-hand side. Yeah, TaiLS has just been ahead on supply. Like, it doesn't feel as though this is how it should be, you know, like, especially because he's, you know, he is making a good amount of tech units. So a little bit strange. Here we go, once again fighting for his force fields. Will have to come down to slow these Banes. And we do see them slowing down initially here. Only one Immortal or 2 Immortals getting hit and having their barriers popped so far. And as we see, TaiLS is going to continue back over here to the right-hand side. More Lingbane and Ravager setting up in the center of the map. A few more Ravagers going to morph up to the top side here, and Revelation once more coming down. Just a little bit of the army. I mean, the more you can keep track of this, the better, of course. And now you can see TaiLS, well, he sees this coming in from the south side, so if he knows that's coming in from the south, he can begin to position against it. He can begin to position himself nicely to kind of deal with that there. As we see a few more Banes morphing in once again. +2 melee about halfway done. I'm going to be seeing this Oracle actually going to pop its Pulsar Beam and start working his way through a Ravager. So, I mean, it's an interesting choice rather than going for more Revelations. I mean, he's not really going to get that much damage done. A few Banes from the left will pop a lot of the Immortal barriers. Corrosive Bars coming down on a lot of the Immortals too, but now he's blinking aggressively forwards with the Stalkers. You can just see that TaiLS is very easily going to clean this out. It was a bit messy there with blinking forwards. A bit messier than maybe it should have been, but it feels as though TaiLS is actually going to have plenty to kind of, you know, move forwards with afterwards. And SolO, his army just seemingly disappearing there. It was not a good fight, and feels as though TaiLS just built up very well against this. The Stalkers are very good against Banes, you know, and he kept having those force fields too, which just minimized the damage he was taking. As we've seen this hatchery taking a lot of shots, and It's going to go down right away here. Brudlin's starting to move on forwards. The Lings and Banes will run on in to try and help out. I love that one Stalker blinking forwards to try and soak the Banelings if they're not targeted correctly. That's really cute, because if they're just A-moving, all of a sudden 5 or 6 Banes go off to kill one Stalker, well, that's not efficient at all. As we'll see, these odds in the main still get cleaned up pretty easily, actually. As TaiLS still with a commanding army lead, and he is just sitting on the creep spread even. Missing an Observer, that's probably the one thing he could have brought into the game. Didn't need it until now because he's had the Oracles, but when it comes to clearing creep, an Observer does go a long way, and it would just make him a little bit safer here as we see him pushing through. I mean, drones are dropping, and he's going to move up this ramp, and well, all these Banes are going to be enough to hold off, but probably not realistically. As you see him again with that single Stalker blinking forwards. The Immortals will tank the initial Bane shots. And some more Banes rolling through. Just not enough though. GG is called, and TaiLS picks up game number 1 of our first series today here in the WardiTV weekly. Still looking. And again, just use the command !match arena. We'll give you that link right away. Alright, going to kick off to the top left hand side where we do have the blue Zerg player from OSC route down a game. Let's see what he tries to change up here on Cactus Valley. It is SolO on the upper left hand side of the map here. Bottom left, our orange Protoss player, it is TaiLS. And SolO goes for a very early pull, so that's going to be his way to change things up. That's going to be his way to try and get some damage done here in these early stages. Again, thank you again, Mark BT, for the cheer 500 in the chat. Do appreciate it. And of course, guys, don't forget, if you are enjoying the stream, don't forget that you can hit the follow button, or you can support in other ways, such as subscribing to the channel, donating too, or you can cheer in the chat, as has already been seen today. All of them going a long way towards helping the stream out, keeping us alive here, and continue to produce events and all the rest of it. I've always been saying this, but the WardiTV weekly events, they happen because of you guys. They really do. Because we've had more subscribers in the last few months, we've been able to run a few more of our own events. Basically, we've been using some of the subscriber money to run these events. So, if you enjoy these events, if you enjoy these cups, you want to support, well, subscribing is a great way to do so, because it's very likely that we do take the subscriber money and put it back into events. Or at least a portion of it, of course. I mean, I need some of it to be able to eat and to sometimes, you know, pay for stuff. But we do take a good amount of the subscriber money and put it back into events to keep you guys entertained, to keep you guys, give you guys more StarCraft to watch, basically. Alright, SolO coming down to the bottom left-hand side with these initial Zerglings off of the 12 pool here. Really looking to get damage done early, and well, it's a gate Nexus, and TaiLS just hasn't scouted at all, so he's going to be caught completely unawares. These Zerglings come into the natural expansion, and they're already going to start working their way through this Nexus. So Nexus is already starting to take some damage. You might just have to cancel this Nexus. I mean, at this point, what are you going to do? He hasn't got a Zealot out already. I mean, your Adept's just starting, your Mothership Core is just starting. The big benefit that you can look at this and say is, like, hey, if I have to cancel the Nexus, well, at least he hasn't killed any probes. And that's very true, you know. At this point, SolO has not killed any probes, so even though TaiLS has to go and rebuild the Nexus, he's only lost 100 minerals, and, you know, he's still 8 workers ahead for now, so I like it. And also the thing is as well, it's not just like the Protoss player, the Zerg player can drone freely, because you can see 2 more gates coming down for TaiLS now as well until he's safe, and it's just going to mean he's going to have a lot of counter-attack potential to move across the map with, and to just force more and more units out of SolO, and actually SolO without any gases won't have link speed, etc. So there's a lot of possibility here for TaiLS to really get across and to get more damage done. Nexus will go back down, of course. As this Adept is stuck, though. Oh, that's a little bit of a shame, losing the Adept to the Lings. If he was trying to move command out of there, but if he just target fired and then moved, it would have turned out to be okay for him, hopefully. Anyways, Nexus does come down on the natural expansion. We do see the Twilight Council on the way up in the main base as well. So rebuilding, I mean, obviously now SolO is up to 25 workers. And free Adepts build, I mean, that's the thing though. As free Adepts build, then the Warp Gate finishes, you'll have 6 Adepts. Then SolO's going to have to go back into unit production rather than worker production. Although that said, he's going to be ahead in workers for now, so I guess it worked out okay. Bit of a hard one to judge. You don't see 12 pools in ZVP that often anymore. It's a bit of a tough one to judge. Rotron coming down then. As you see the first Adepts just coming at the front. Actually going to be 4 Adepts out already. And again, just Warp Gate a few moments away. We've actually seen the Chronoboost on the Twilight Council. He could have had his gateways morphed into Warp Gates already if he'd been Chronoboosting that, but obviously decided not to, which is perfectly fine. I mean, it's definitely something that can work out for you, as we do see the Adepts. Well, they are starting now to push up the left-hand side of the map, get into position. Look to see what they can do. Rotron's about to finish up, more Lings in production as well. The Ling speed starting up also now. As we do see these Adepts just going to continue in towards the expansion. Actually just going to find this Queen here. And is he going to commit to the Shade back? He is. Just going to pull these away then. Obviously wants to keep them alive, ready for the larger Adept numbers with the Resonating Glaives in the near future. It's a nice idea, right? Because by not overcommitting here, he's still going to force units. But he doesn't lose anything, making the follow-up attack even stronger. So, it's nice. I mean, obviously if you just allow the opponent to drone right now, then allow him to make units. I mean, that's just going to be so many units coming out. So, I like the way in which TaiLS is doing this. Again, 1-up in this series and pushing across the map with these Adepts to see if he can take a decent lead in the second game of this series now as well. So, good amount of Adepts coming on up. Going to be seeing them shade on forwards. And, well, I mean, there's a lot of roaches here actually. So, I wonder if you will just cancel the shade and start to back away. I'm just going to kite backwards against the SolO Zergling. Something speed not here just yet. SolO's still making a lot of units, by the way. And, I mean, he is only on 2 bases as well. It's getting to that point where I wonder if SolO is... Ooh, he's going to TaiLS come into the main base now. I was going to say, maybe SolO is about to kind of just go all in. You know, because he's not running up any further. He's not taking any further tech or mining that much more gas. Yeah, I wonder if he is about to just kind of go all in across the map. I mean, now he's losing more drones as well. If he doesn't start to replace those, I think it's almost definite that he's going to be kind of moving across to attack here very shortly. His TaiLS, well, he still just shades around with these Adepts, picking up more and more drones. I mean, the more damage he does now, the more all-in he puts SolO, the more difficult it is for SolO to guarantee that he's going to get enough damage done. And obviously, these Adepts, as they shade around at the moment, the longer they survive, the more he's going to distract SolO, and the longer he's going to stop SolO from getting into that aggressive position. 23 workers left on the map here for Zerg, and now SolO can start to move down to the bottom left-hand side. However, there's not a wall up at the front. First Immortal's on the way out. There's not that many units at all here from TaiLS. He's going to start walling off now. I mean, it could not come soon enough, as you're going to be seeing, well, necessarily an overcharge going to be popped here right away. You're going to be seeing triple force field already used to kind of keep these sentries safe. 2 more sentries warped in. I mean, he needs them. He really needs them. He's going to wall off now with a couple of gateways. I mean, any amount of time that he can buy right here is going to be very, very important, because he just does not have what he needs at the moment to fight against his Ling Roach Ravager army. Sentry's still looking around. There's a nice force field just to trap a couple of roaches in. Mothership Core actually taking some hits from the Ravager files. That's the last thing you want, to lose the Mothership Core to that. Obviously, if you lose your Mothership Core and it's still got 100 energy on it, that's 2 extra overcharges. That can go such a long way to holding off, as we see. Oh, Biles once again. Oh my god, the Mothership Core walking into Biles. Again, you have to be really, really careful about this, as we do see overcharge once again going down in the back. And, well, Sentry's still working their way through this. Another force field also coming down, and one more Bile. Now the Mothership Core dies. I mean, there was still an overcharge available, so a little bit of a waste, but at the same time, now there's 2 Immortals out, and that does make a big difference here. You're going to be seeing Lings running forwards too. TaiLS is in a bit of an awkward situation. He doesn't know where to actually move his units to get out of those vials. And you're going to be seeing him continue to fight right now, as the Immortals just getting targeted down very quickly, although he is cleaning out quite a lot. There's only a few Roaches and a couple of Ravagers left over. Stalkers have Blink as well. Another overcharge available. More Stalkers warping in. And I think that's just about going to be enough, right? I've still got to deal with some of these Zerglings, which is becoming a little bit of a nuisance. He's got another Immortal up. This was a very close, game, man. SolO's still got a little bit of a chance here, actually blinking forwards now. He's going to get rid of the Ravagers. I like the idea. The Immortal is going to stay alive there as he avoids the files just about. And now I think SolO's really kind of just running out of momentum. That's going to be GG. TaiLS does end up taking it 2-0. It was not easy, though.